And we are back.
Yes, we are.
We are here.
Hell yeah.
Joel, it's been about 2 weeks. So I guess it's safe to say congratulations
Oh yeah.
on
Hell
besting
yeah.
me in Captain America and the Avengers and becoming our current World Nerdy Weight champion.
Woo-hoo.
How do you feel? It's been a few
The game
months.
was tough, man.
The game was
There's still a
tough.
clip. There's a clip I gotta get of me getting destroyed by I think the living laser where he does his Shoryuken and it just is his spam and I was like, oh my god. Yeah, it was fun. Hopefully it wasn't too hard for you. I was like, oh wait, you've never played this, but it was still, yeah, pretty good beat 'em up, I
I'll
think.
take pride in myself in saying that even though you did grant me a few extra lives, each run I consecutively got a little bit farther in.
You
I
did.
at least made it past the Sentinel. That was my in my brain. That was my goal, and I achieved that. So I felt good about
Hell yeah.
myself.
Hell yeah.
But Joel,
Yes, sir.
this podcast
Mm.
does not just have one champion. Hold on, for
Oh
effect. Hold
no.
on.
Oh no, y'all. Oh no. Here it comes. Oh shit. There's gonna be more than one belt.
This is
Shit. You
coming.
know what's funny? I thought about getting another
I
belt.
totally
just
didn't
for
think of
me,
this last minute.
but if it's the fucking Pokemon belt from before, we used to have Pokemon tournaments for the
Not
belt.
only
But oh my god,
you
yep, it's another
have the
belt.
World Nerdyweight champion Joel, but
This motherfucker.
I am officially
Look at this motherfucker bringing out another
the
belt.
the WWE Predictions Challenge
Oh, that's
champion.
right.
I bested the round two boys in a year-long competition to see who could predict the most wins out of all the WWE pay-per-views, PLEs, if you will. And brother, WrestleMania weekend was my weekend, man. I almost night one, night two predicted almost everything correctly. And I got a
nice.
very, very healthy lead. And now I too, I may have not retained my World Nerdyweight champion, but I am still a champion, baby.
You said it was like if you had that lead, but didn't you say it got close in the end when you're texting us about it?
So our buddy Kevin over at round two, me and him, the last couple of PLEs were like neck and neck. Like we were basically like I'd gain one, he'd gain two, we'd match up, and then like the last show before this, we tied again. It's like shit, you know, one wrong mistake and that's it. But luckily, I got all but one wrong on night one, and I got two wrong on night two. But I had a healthy enough lead that I soared into victory. So.
Hell yeah.
So we don't actually have a real championship. I just pulled this out to just be like representation, you know, kind of copium in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yes, officially we are the podcast of champions. So
Hell yeah.
eat that round two.
I'm worried about what you got next for me, man. It's been a while.
I have an idea. You know, we gotta figure things out, and then and then I'll unleash the truth. I'll unleash the my truth, the real truth. But no, we will be planning our next championship, so you just stay tuned for that. We'll let you guys know on social media and on here for that. But once again,
Just say no. Like, nah,
it's like nah.
nah. Something else.
But you know, once again, congratulations, Joel. You are the champion of this podcast.
Or no.
For now. For now. But yeah, a lot of stuff really happened. Like there was so much stuff that happened. We kind of had to take a break last week just to process it all out. So just to kind of get our things in order today,
Plan to let it marinate.
for sure. Today, we'll be going over everything that was announced at Star Wars Celebration the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, and of course, a lot of shows have been coming out. I know you've been keeping on them more than I have, so I know you said you told me before we started this episode that you had some things to say about Andor season 2, but I thought it would be perfect. We've are past our 3 episode mark for The Last of Us season 2, so I think it'd also be a perfect time for us to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
As well as just like some other minor things sprinkled in throughout the episode. But before we get all that, I would like to remind everybody that this is the United We Nerd podcast, where a couple nerds just hang around talking about the things they love, and we love to talk it with you. If you're in the chat here on twitch.tv/United We Nerd, you can talk to us, you can comment on the conversations as we go. But do not worry, if you cannot watch live, we are over at youtube.com/@United We Nerd, where I believe we just passed our 50th subscriber mark. We're at 53 now, I believe.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody that's been slowly just kind of building and building. We're building the ground level, Joel. It's like I know a lot of people focus on, trying to get things as quick as possible. So I know we're building a nice foundation with all of you lovely nerds. So we appreciate y'all.
Sir.
If any of you, rewind. If any of you would like to leave questions for us, there is a question thread over on YouTube in the community tab. So go check that out. Leave a question. We will answer it here live on the podcast. And of course, in the audio realm, you can check us out on pretty much every major podcast service. With that out of the way, Joel, how's your week been?
My weekend was very busy, in a healthy way. Very fortunate. I was able to do many things. One, we saw together with a handful of friends and our partners, the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, and it was cool. I thought there'd be a poster. We didn't get one, but that's okay. Little, intro by Hayden Christensen, just talking to us for like a minute.
That was nice.
Pretty cute, right? So that was cool. And then of course we just saw the movie, and 20 years changed my perspective a lot. I mean, I knew what was coming, but still to sit with it in the theater. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not distracted. I'm literally watching Star Wars. Pastime of mine, and it's just like, oh. I kind of, now that we have context, 20 years of, we didn't have Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Andor, Rogue One, Solo, we things that will come before and after. So it's just like thinking about that too. And even, Project Necromancer, the legacy of the Sith later with Thrawn and, Palpatine returning and stuff like that.
But it's just like so much stuff has come out. And back in the day, it'd be like, oh, I wonder what they would be doing at this time. It's like, well, now we know. So we can rewatch it and be like, oh shit. Like Ahsoka and Rex are here while this is happening. And, the Bad Batch is here when this is happening.
Or we're going to find Plo Koon's mask in that shop in Andor, it's nice little things like that. But yeah, that was fun. We were just chatting about it after, having a good time. Of course, it made me more excited for all the Star Wars content that we're about to talk about later. The following day, just had a hangout day with our buddies, Nate and Isabel. Nate, who's been on the show, we had a creative day, and I it's just nice to kind of refocus. I played MCP against Nate, who's been on the show. If you haven't seen that, see Brian and I showdown with Nate's guidance. He kicked my ass. It was still fun though. I used Criminal Syndicate and he used Defenders. And so we had some good matches, and his Defenders, actually, one of his teams didn't even have a leader. So that was interesting. But yeah, Shang-Chi and Iron Fist kicked my ass.
Just some nice ground level combat.
Oh yeah, they one game was close and one game was even closer. But yeah. So that was fun. I got to try Vulture for the first time, really, and what else did I use? I forgot. Anyway, so he's bad guys, and then Daredevil got like one hit. I had evil Daredevil Shadowlands, and I was like, he's gonna make it, and he's fucking dead. It's like, God damn it. That's how it goes. So did that, and then later that night, because we had to go, my sister-in-law and her boyfriend, they bought tickets to see this DJ Pee Wee. I shared some videos on my Instagram, but I didn't know it was Anderson .Paak, his alias. So we saw a bunch of DJs doing like Bay Area sets. It was like at this SF hip hop thing. It's actually at the Day of the Dev Center where we've been.
Oh,
so
shit!
I was like, oh, I know this spot. And
that's
so,
cool.
Yeah, then I'm not familiar with late night hip hop and DJs, so he didn't come on till like 12:30. I'm like, oh man, I'm a little old. But he still put on a great set. He had a big ass wig. He sung one of his own songs. He joked that Bruno Mars was going to come out. He didn't. It was a good time. So if you have ever a chance to check out DJ Pee Wee, if you like Anderson .Paak, that was pretty cool.
So with our experience of Day of the Dead, I have to ask you, how was the parking?
They found parking like, I don't know, a street down.
That's not terrible.
We got there kind of early too, because even he went on super late, and they're like, "Are you sure you guys want to go in early?" He's like, "I don't want to miss the openers." We could have missed one of them, but we wouldn't have gotten good parking though.
Yeah, that's true.
The DJs were dope though. So yeah, SF hip hop with DJ Pee Wee was dope. So that was cool. Never been to like a hip hop show like that with like 3 DJs back to back. So that was new for me. People like singing on, Bay Area hits coming on, blow the whistle, shit. It's like people like hyping up. And then the next day, so the following, went to the city with some other friends. We had this place called Coswell's. It's like this night, it's supposed to be a really good burger in the city because we were already going to be there. It was pretty good. They had like some drinks that were like Girl Scout cookie themed, and each of like the proceeds, some $1 of the proceeds went to like Girl Scouts who were affected by the fires in LA. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was really juicy.
Man, Girl Scouts are getting everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, man. And then, but the cool thing was later, I haven't seen like a production in a while. They're at Fort Point, the one under Golden Gate Bridge. There was a live showing of Macbeth, so we got to see that. It was cool. Like they had like a little description before, like the fort itself is kind of like a player, like winds come in, it's super loud with the waves. We're under the bridge, so we hear like the cars passing. So it was cool to see their production. It was an all-female cast. I had a couple gripes, but it's not with like the acting or anything. It's just how they did it. It was supposed to be like an immersive experience too, which it was. Like at one point, it's just a full show too. They locked the fort, and for 2.5 hours, you're just moving back and forth around different points of the fort, interacting with the show. Like they'll put it on, then here, move here. Yeah, which was hit and miss for me. Like some points it was cool, but we really had to dress warm because like that, if you know that SF wind, and then in the fort it's 10 degrees even colder. They said, and it was at one corner that was really awful. It was like blasting. It was like, oh my god.
So, but was it more like each scene was like a diorama?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I'd say that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was cool. There was definitely one good shot, I would say, like camera shot. Like, I was like, damn, that was really cool. There's a broken part of the fort. It's looking out to the ocean, and Macbeth is kind of looking out at the sea. And oh man, she just delivered that scene really good. It was just really cool. And during intermission, there's like a long table because there's a banquet. So they gave us tea and some chocolates, and then like they came on the table, right? They came over and they were like just were walking on it. They were performing. It was really cool. That part was cool.
Okay.
We're both theater experience, so kind of know the ins and out. My two gripes though, it was a good show. It's one, I feel sorry for the actors because they had to project over the waves and fucking cars of the bridge and wind.
So they had like no audio equipment at all.
They didn't mic.
Oh wow.
And which was cool sometimes, but like in the middle of the fort, right? It's not super big, but it's like there's people down here in front of us, like in the courtyard, and then like up 3 stories high, Macbeth is yelling, and we're like, oh fuck,
what?
I don't hear Macbeth, shit.
It sounds really like actor suffers for their art kind of vibe. It does,
and I was like, damn, you could say like I know my projection. I did it Macbeth at the fucking fort. So yeah, that was it. And then at the end, I know, they wanted to make it like an immersive experience. Like right when it ended, when Macbeth dies. Spoiler alert for 1,000 years. um, they kind of just shoot us off. Like they said, "All right, time to go, exit," and then they closed the doors. We didn't get to applaud. We didn't get to meet the director, shake their hand or anything.
Really?
Yeah, and then we were done. I guess we really wanted. We could have stayed until they left. So yeah, that was just
So
interesting. I was like, oh, we, yeah,
so paint me a picture because I'm not familiar with the. I'm familiar with that area, but like not that location. Like
yeah.
it's a beaten down old fort, right? But
I
does it
wouldn't say
still have a
beaten down, but it's
It's
like
old,
it's there. It's old. It's brick and mortar and shit
and
and
there's
cement.
still electricity and stuff in it.
There is for the lights, of course, because we need to see the actors.
Okay.
Um, you know, there's like a gift shop and stuff inside. There's like, it's still historical. There's historical stuff they didn't all put away, but you could see like they use certain props for the show and stuff, and some like interesting lighting for like a scene that showed like the king was assassinated. And what was cool, we walked by and like in the room where they were assassinated, like they lit the room different. The king was playing dead on the bed, and then we moved to the next scene. So that was cool. Yeah, and we were just surprised they didn't mic the actors, which it would have really helped. And we were like the youngest people there, so I'm not saying my hearing is better than theirs, but
I mean,
it's not. But everyone else around me has better hearing. Okay, so it's like shit. If I can't hear, these guys definitely can't hear.
yeah, but that is interesting. It's like because normally, like for any kind of performance, like the thing would be like the actors would come back out and then
Yeah, yeah.
say how. It's like not trying to assume anything. It sounds like they weren't supposed to be there. Kind of. That's what it gives me that vibe. It's like, okay, we're done. Leave. We need to make
Maybe
this
like because
disappear.
it's like technically a piece of a national park. They need to get out. But I mean, they've been
They're very
there.
strict on
They've
like
been there
the.
for a while, though. Apparently,
Okay.
how we found out from our other friend, like their sister saw it like 10 years ago. So they must have some
What
kind
was
of
the
agreement or something.
so with the extra movement that you guys have to do and like they have to do for like their setup, like
Yeah.
how long was the runtime from like beginning to end, like you getting
Two and a
kicked
half
out the
hours.
door?
2.5
Really?
hours. And it's
Wow.
there's no bathroom. So it's like, hey, you got to use the bathroom before this, and that's it. Like we won't let you out unless it's an emergency. And then it's like, okay, we can. They give us chairs to
This
sit
is
here and there, like stools to prop up and down. But honestly, like by the end, I was kind of sitting, but like sometimes like a couple times I stood. But yeah, it was. I like what they did, but just some of the choices were just not what I would have done. But again, easy for me to say.
very
So.
experimental.
No, yeah, for sure. And it was an experience. It was a kind of a hurt so good, much like Last of Us in a way. Um, but yeah, we were talking about immersion too on the ride home because we carpool with our friends. It's like, well, if they were really worried about immersion, they wouldn't have boots with with the zipper. And I was like, oh my god, someone paying attention to details. It's like you can mic them. We're already using electronic lights. Why not mic? I was like, I don't know. I wish I could ask the director, but maybe they don't want that feedback,
Do
or
you
they know people are going to comment on it. I don't know.
so was this just like a solo endeavor or is this like a company that did
It was a
this?
company. It was a company.
What was the company?
We the Players. They've been around for 25 years.
We the Players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they
Dang.
did. Costumes were great, and it was an experience for sure. I can't say I saw like a Shakespearean like a performance at a fort in the city. That was pretty cool, and it was cool though. We went in at 6 and came out around 9. You know, um, as the sun's getting lower, and it's getting darker, kind of goes with Macbeth's like descent into madness a little. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, dude, it sounds like you had quite an experience then.
Yeah. This weekend was experience after experience, and my wife and I joke a lot, like, why did we do this? Like, we're having fun, but also like, it's
Like, it's like it's literally that I'm getting too old for this shit.
it's like, when are we just doing nothing? I'm like, I think this day. But yeah, thankful. It was fun. Great weekend. What about you, Brian?
Well, what did I do? See, folks, when you are in between jobs, days start to kind of blur together a lot. Well, I guess 2 weeks ago was whole WrestleMania, right? And I had a competition where WrestleMania was fun. I won't go too into it because I don't even know how many people like here really care about wrestling, but very, very fun time watching it. I know some people have their opinions about it. That's not for me to explain here, but the one thing I will say is that Jey Uso, main event Jey, is a world heavyweight champion. So represent the SF with a yeet for our world heavyweight champion. So that was cool. And another thing, me and the Round Two boys, we go to the independent shows a lot. Especially the ones around here, and it was a very surreal moment for us when we realized that like this is the first time we've seen somebody grow on the independent scene and then make it to the big times and then like
Nice.
win at WrestleMania. Like Jacob Plateau, we've seen him here in the Bay Area for years, just like getting better and getting better to the point where his WrestleMania debut, he wins the United States Championship.
Hell yeah.
And so it's just like, this is so fucking sick. So it was a very kind of like a strange, like proud papa moment, even though like we had like, there's like had nothing to do with it. We just like saw him wrestle for years. So, but it was still pretty sick. And yeah, just kind of, very chill. I know some people are very adamant about the John Cena match not being up to par, but I'm just sitting back waiting to see what happens next with all that kind of jazz.
Bro said he's pushing 50. I mean, he knows. Like
it's his retirement year.
Yeah, he's acting and stuff like Dave Bautista,
But also like the idea is because now he's a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
The promos leading up to WrestleMania, he's like, I'm going to ruin wrestling for everybody. It's like, I'm going to win this championship. I'm going to take it home and I'll be the last real champion. You could make a new belt, but this belt is coming home with the belt with lineage comes home with me. And it's like, whether it was intentional or not, having the match not live up to people's expectations could be like a toss up, whether it was just bad planning or this is his character. He's going to phone it in a little bit. I don't know. But overall, it was a very fun time. And also just doing the predictions challenge gave it a little bit more incentive for me this year. So we did that.
Brian. The most important one. Did you know it was going to be Joe Hendry versus fucking
no,
you know who?
Randy. Originally planned it was going to be Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens had to have neck surgery, so he had to bow out. And so it's like, okay, it's going to be Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent at WrestleMania. And so like the few days leading up to it, I was like, who could it be? And it's like, there was rumors that Rusev is coming back. He just re-signed. Aleister Black is coming back and he just re-signed. It could be somebody from NXT. It could be like somebody that we couldn't think of. But for some reason, Joel, I did not think about Joe Hendry. For some reason, I thought he was like out with a minor injury or something. I wasn't keeping tabs on the guy. And say his name and he appeared through the fucking LCD screen gate. Comes out Joe Hendry. And I shit you not, like my partner can attest. As soon as he appeared on the screen and his music played, I got up out of my seat and did the whole Mummy 2 Emotep, and just like like towards the screen. It's like so it was great. That was a prediction I lost, but I was happy to lose it because I was just enjoying myself the whole entire time. It was like 5 minutes of a match, but it exceeded my expectations like tremendously. 5 minutes of hype. But no, yeah, I had no idea it was going to be Joe Hendry. So, and I kind of like that because it threw me for a loop. It's it's cool to like find out things before it happens and like still be excited about it. But like, it's very rare nowadays where like there's this mystery or there's a surprise and it stays a secret. Like nobody leaks it online or anything. There's like no word about it. So it was a very special, rare moment for WrestleMania. Uh, you know, been watching The Last of Us. We'll talk about that in a second. So I won't touch too much upon it right now. But what I will touch upon is for some reason I decided to start replaying part two because I have the remaster,
Yeah,
the part two remaster, and I never played it with the remaster. So I'm taking it beat by beat. So I've kind of only played up until you get to Seattle, which is kind of like what's happening now in the show. So it's just very interesting. We'll touch upon it when we talk about the show, but it's just very interesting to see the creative differences between both and just kind of re-examining something I haven't played in like 3-ish years at this point.
played it in like 6 months or 3 months. So.
That's right. It's more fresh in your brain.
It is super fresh, and
Yeah.
I'm already, the differences are with me right now. And I didn't play the original one. I only played the remaster, so like that's the only one I have a reference for as well.
I mean, it's the same game. It's just prettier, and it has the survival mode. That's pretty much the difference. But yeah, I've been doing that. It's been pretty fun. I'm kind of just going at it's easy. I'm not trying to challenge myself. I'm just kind of going through and just kind of reliving the experience. So it's been fun.
Not exactly easy either. We did it on the second to lowest. I was telling Josh, who's been on here too, like there were some points I was like, this is easy, like easy. I was like, shit, man, I'm getting rocked over here.
I got killed by the same clicker twice already, and then I've barely started the game. Now I'm playing on like light mode. It's like the second easiest. But no, yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I'll say. Other than that, I tried to march through the trenches the other week and see about getting my hands on a Switch 2.
Oh shit, yeah, you did.
Yeah. Needless to say, that didn't happen. I had two opportunities and both those opportunities failed me tremendously. I mean, what else can you say really? It's like the most anticipated like Nintendo console in modern history, like minus the Wii at this point. Like I can see how, well, I don't understand how at this day and age, like websites still don't understand that this shit's going to happen for products like this. Because let me tell you my story, Joel. I loaded up the big three, Target, Best Buy, and Walmart, begrudgingly. Target, the website died. The app, for some reason, didn't. And I had to keep fighting the shopping cart because it would either say it was in my shopping cart or it would say, oh, no, it's not there. And then it would be, yes, it is. No, it's not. And then when I get to the checkout, it was just like, oh, no, your payment doesn't work for some reason. It's like,
You don't want my money?
Yeah, it's like, okay. Walmart was surprisingly proactive. They had a line right away. However, the line didn't tell you anything. All it said is that you can browse the website while you're in line, but it didn't give you like a counter as like what position you were in line, like what was the estimated time. that you'd be in the line for, and then eventually they just shut the line down and then just made it a free for all. It's like and then by that point it was too late. Best Buy started like 20 minutes late. So like their website kept saying like, oh, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. And then I think according to like Wario 64, like as soon as it came online, it was like gone in like seconds. And I was like, fuck, all right, well.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? Like we went through this before with the Series X and the PS5. This has happened again and again. I did sign up for the direct from Nintendo one, but that's not gonna start until next month, or I guess at this point, like in a few weeks. So I'm gonna see how that turns out. But I mean, like, you know, get it or not, at least it's nice to know that they're keeping it the same price as they announced it originally. So they're not gonna price hike it. Everything else is gonna get price hike though.
Yay!
Let me tell you this, Joel. Do you hope that their Joy-Cons don't have drift? Because I do, because I don't want to spend $100 to get a replacement pair.
Yeah, I can wait. I can wait.
The Pro controller is going to be almost $90, but the Pro controller is really good, and this one looks like it's just going to be better. So it's kind of worth it. You know, it's going to have built-in back paddles and stuff like that. So it's technically, comparatively to like the other Pro controllers, like in other consoles, it's like the cheapest one, technically, for like what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, everything else is getting a price hike, like minus the console. So it's just like, oh, okay. I mean, at least we can like get the idea of what it's gonna be, you know, instead of just like the will they, won't they, like do the increase like we are talking about the last time we talked about the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun 1.5 hours of my what was it, Wednesday night?
You guys were chatting. I was like, I am not doing that.
You are a better person for it, because you probably got way better sleep than I did.
It's all right. I'll wait for my other half to buy it when something cool comes out, like she did with the Switch. I was like, okay, I guess we have a Switch now.
Hey.
I mean, perfect timing for the pandemic, though. So
that's true. Hey, what better time to pick up a Switch 2 when Gen 10 comes out of Pokemon?
I know that I'm waiting for a bundle, but it's probably gonna be ridiculous.
Or like a special edition console.
Yeah.
Man, I wish the other consoles did that still. I know you got the Spider-Man one, but like Xbox doesn't do that anymore. They have giveaways for one special one, but it's bastards. Like, and they have like their wraps, but it's just like a weird like thing that just kind of it's like it's not the same, you know? Like, remember like the back in the day when it'd be like a specially designed kind of like things, like the console like had the nice like unified pattern and like it had the theming and stuff like that. Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days.
Other than that, I've kind of just been chilling for the most part. I just been kind of chucking through. I did find out though that Kaiju number 8, the manga, started releasing what they call B-sides, and they are
East sides.
No, B-sides, like a record.
I know.
Or beast sides. But they're gonna be like in-depth looks at like other characters, right?
All right.
And so I'm looking forward to getting my hands on a copy. I just like saw like the first volume, and I was like, ooh, I need to get that. But it's kind of cool, you know, because right now like the manga is kind of like in a not in like a hiatus, but they're kind of trying to catch up. Like the publishing side's like catching up with the like the weekly releases, and so like they're gonna
Yeah.
be doing like these special side ones. So it's gonna be cool.
I mean, to its credit, like I do feel like the side characters are worth exploring. Like I was like, oh, you know, we just met these guys. Like I would like to know a little more. I know it's really about Kafka, but it still would be cool.
Yeah, you know, and it will do a good job of like fleshing out the other characters too.
Yeah.
Especially for a cast like that where there's like so many like player characters
Yeah.
in there. And I know that speaking of player characters, I know we both been watching G-Quux.
Hell yeah.
That's been really cool. For people that know this new Gundam series that's out on Amazon Prime. Ridiculous name, but a very, very cool show. I don't know about you, Joel, but I think that the art design's pretty neat. It's a very like Fooly Cooly like style vibe to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's very interesting because I just want to talk to you about the mech designs real quick, because we've seen a few so far. We've seen like the classics, like the Zaku's and the Gunkans and stuff. Like it's interesting how they kind of went about it, where it's like they have their key features, but then they're also going into like a realistic like kind of design, because like you see from like remember Requiem for Vengeance, they had kind of like a somewhat similar thing where it was or at least with like the special Zaku that they had, where it was anyway, am I thinking about the right thing?
I don't know.
There was what was the other Gundam thing that had weird designs for like known character? No, it was Requiem for, wasn't it?
I'm trying to. I need a little more details.
I might be thinking like. Oh, you know what? I'm probably thinking about the concept art for G-Quux actually. That came out around the same time, because like they had Requiem for Vengeance that came out on Netflix, but then they also started showing off. And I think I got those two confused. So, but yeah, I remember like the first impressions of kind of like the redesign. Oh, you know what I was also thinking of?
What?
The Requiem Gundam.
Oh yeah.
And how that design was like strangely different comparatively. It's kind of like that. So like from like the waist up is like, oh, you know, it's like very recognizable, but then the waist down, it's like very like what you would imagine like an actual mech would be in real life. It's not just like, oh, a pair of legs. Like, no, it's like a weird like king like grasshopper type kind of like system, and like they had like the thrusters just sticking out of the ass.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. But I don't know. What have your thoughts been so far about G-Quux?
You know, as you were talking, I was thinking like it's kind of like Gundam's own What If, honestly. The first episode, without saying too much, because I'm damn sure we're gonna do a fucking synopsis. Basically, it's like, you know, for those who know, Char Aznavour, the main rival of Amuro Ray in the original series, instead of Amuro getting the Gundam and, you know, going through the war and learning how to fight and be a child soldier, Char instead gets the Gundam and just, you know, actually it's episode 2, but it sets the precedent. You know, he just like steamrolls the 1-year war, and it's all of a sudden, you know, Zeon's on
Quick
top.
fashion.
And, yeah, it's crazy. And you know, of course, they have the classic like, here's the protagonist. They find the Gundam, they get in it in a trial by error. You know, someone else who is destined for it is, you know, kind of sent off, and you know they have a fight, and they, you know, it comes easy to them, or they have the right technology at the right place at the right time. You know, and you know, it's truly like a Gundam anime, and we see that Hideo Anno's, you know, love letter to Gundam is in it. You know, the creator of Evangelion. You know, it hurts me, and I love at the same time to see white base and Xeon colors. That just fucks with me every time.
Fucking ugly ass green.
but it's like it's still so cool. Like I would have never thought they would do that. So even like when we saw the gun
Like,
cannons and the other Gundams getting their ass
like,
kicked by another Gundam, it was pretty good.
like, I'll agree. It's really cool to see like the Xeonification of like things we know very well.
Hmm.
But I would have much rather White Base be like painted up like a Musai or something like that. Like just like go with like that dark green color or something. That like weird like it's like when you get a shiny Pokemon, but it's a bad shiny. It's like it's just the alterations are just very minor, it's very dull looking color.
Well, they have to make
Like,
sure it looks like White Base too, though. I guess, right?
well, I mean,
It's
like,
called the Sodon, I think. Yeah.
yeah, they like renamed it, but like it's just like pale green. It's like, like a
Yeah.
whitish, like eggshell
Yeah.
green.
And they have this, of course, this tension of Char and Chalia Bull, homies or more. And it's just interesting.
Shout out to his fucking glow up though.
Yeah, he was like barely a character, and now he's like in charge of the Gundam and the White Base now, and it also like because of it's like the what if, like everyone's like, what happened to these other characters we've known for 30 years? Where's Kai? Where's Shiro? Where's Ko? Where's the camper? Where's Bernie? Like everyone, the comments
'em.
on Reddit, like where are they?
Fuck them.
Yeah,
Done.
I am really curious
Hey.
where Bright is, but me and my wife were talking. I was like, oh,
True.
he was fucking killed. I'm sure he was executed. He was in charge of the White Base, after the other ones were there, so they probably were all killed. But what were you saying?
But actually, he probably wasn't because he didn't gain command of it until they left Luna 2.
This is true.
And Char fucked all that up because they never
This is true.
because they all got captured right away. So he wasn't even the captain.
I'm just gonna assume he was killed.
But here's my question: where's Rumbarral? He's not dead.
That's a good question. There's
What side is he on?
I don't know. It's there. Makuve, who should have died by Amuro, is alive. Kycilia, who should have died by Char, is alive. Agirin shouldn't be alive.
Dharma retired from the military. he's not dead either.
Yeah.
None of this because Char got to the Gundam first. None of this shit ever happened. None of the zombies are sentenced to death. They all are alive.
Yeah. And episode 2, the one where it kind of shows like it all unfold with Char getting the Gundam, was like the most nostalgic hit of like for me, like I'm gonna say loveliness, because like growing up when I was little, watching the original show on Toonami, hearing that music, but then hearing it now in high def. I was like, oh, I feel it, right? And even the intro, it just, the music hits so good. And then what I love is it's so meta. Char is making fun of the fucking universe that we know and love. Like, why is the Gundam exposed? Why does it look like this? X, Y, Z. Why,
Talking
like, why,
shit
why,
about
why,
the
why?
paint job of the Gundam.
I know.
Was the best
Mister, I'm going to paint it
part.
red, right? There is without saying too much, there is a hint of what should happen later in the original timeline, and it kind of gets averted, true to the original story. And I was telling my partner, I was like, I think what happens is, this is my theory, because they say he leaves or goes mad or whatever, we don't know yet, if anything. I think because of something happening, like some kind of wormhole or whatever, he saw that this timeline isn't the true timeline, and he's fucked up. That's what I'm thinking. Like, he's like, oh shit. That's my theory, at least.
He's a fucking new type hermit somewhere in space.
Yep.
And, there's going to be a wild goose chase, and I bet you the end result is going to be Char being like we need to go back. We need to go back. We need to change this.
Change it to the original way. Man. But yeah, G-Quux is a ride. New episode today for us, at least. I've been waiting. My partner's at work, so we're going to watch that shit later tonight.
Hell yeah.
I'm juiced. So good.
But yeah, dude. I'm pretty much done with that. So let's kind of get into God, all of them. The backlog needs to be filled, god damn it.
I just refilled it a little bit, meaning refilled. It needs to build. Hey, Brian, speaking of backlog, did you want to talk a little bit about your backlog that we found out the day we had our showdown? Just a little.
So, oh god, I'm kind of embarrassed.
You don't want to.
No, it would be funny. It's kind of funny. So, for people that have been with us for a while, remember our good friend Lisa, who's been on the show plenty of times. Our resident Pokemon master, as at least I like to say. Before our championship showdown, hung out with her for a little bit, came back here, and then one thing led to another, and Lisa just went through my entire Pokemon card collection, because she's kind of been in like the hyperfixation of going through the card collection, kind of like doing the grading thing and kind of like selling on eBay for stuff like that. And she was like, "Oh, I want to see what you got." And Joel can attest. It got to a point where I unintentionally got Lisa madder and madder with how I was storing my cards. But like, I wasn't storing them like neglectfully. Like they were still pretty good, but just they weren't to the standards that they probably should have been, or at least what Lisa thought they should have been. And so it just, the night kept degrading. And like, this was happening while we were streaming, by the way. And it happened like an hour or so after we were done. So yeah, it was very humbling, I guess to say. Also made me realize that like my entire like Pokemon card collecting life was like there in front of me in the living room, and I was like, fuck, I need to like get the shit in order. And luckily
it really was, and I got to steal some. Hell yeah, thanks, Brian.
Yeah. Hey, you're helping me get rid of some of this shit. Like,
I got a Delmise, one Shroomish with a grumpy face. Thank you, Lisa. I also got some Mantines and Heracross, so thank you. And Emolga too.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was a lot of cards, and
there was a lot of cards.
I heard someone could afford a Switch too now. That's what I heard.
Asterisk.
Sell it, right?
I did give Lisa some of my ones to check, because her and Fernando have been doing like the gray stuff, so they're looking at it, and I'm getting reports back, and then I can make a decision whether or not I want to do anything with those or not. But yeah, it was a very eye-opening experience for me, because like I knew I had a lot of cards, but I never saw them all together at one time. And so it was just like, oh god, this is where my money's been going these past couple years.
Though, I was talking about it with some friends on Sunday. Like, you did it the best way. You got it because you liked it, and then you forgot about it. Like, it wasn't like, I hope this card, has a net yield value of $500 in 3 years. Like, you're just like, I like it. Here it is. Which, honestly, like, it's a job in itself. Like, maintaining, like, we talked about it too. Like, you got to watch the value of the card. You got to pay attention. Is it going up in value? Is it going down? Is someone going to buy it? That shit gets old and annoying, and it's work. So, dude, like, it's kind of nice to be, like, nonchalant. Like, I like it. I'll worry about it later. And, like, worry about it later, you did.
Oh, for sure, 100%. And what I love is having friends that care about that side more than me, so I could be like, tell me what it is. I'll make a decision from there. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that side of the card game. I like to play it. I play it digitally still, and I have my collection that I keep. Now it's nice and neat. I have my box of old stuff in the closet now. It's all organized. I have my binders over here. They're all good, so I know where everything is. But yeah, it was a very wild experience. You can do it. Oh God!
Been waiting for that one.
I didn't know you put that one in there.
There's a few I didn't tell you guys about, but
Oh boy. That was me last Friday, 2 Fridays ago.
nice.
Getting knocked out, I should say. But no, yeah, it was an interesting experience. And I'm very thankful that I had a friend like Lisa, and also my partner, help Lisa too, just to kind of organize all that.
Yeah, you owe them a poke dinner, both of them.
I do. Well, me and Lisa did a little transaction when the night was over, so it was a mutual exchange in a way.
I got spoinks. I won.
You did.
I won a belt and spoinks. There's a spoink on my phone.
Yeah,
right
and
here
you got the jackpot.
That's all I wanted. So I was like, "Oh shit, you have some extras? Throw them to me. I don't. They're not. No one wants this uncommon spoink. Give that shit to me."
All right. With that being said, Joel,
I just want to shout out my homies. Sunday morning, we're doing it. Honor mode, Baldur's Gate. We have a full 4 team. We almost wiped in the first act.
oh
We're still
yeah,
taking it. That's it. We almost wiped.
damn. Well, hey,
I can't wait for you to go back in for
almost.
yours, Brian. There's some big lore shit I want you to see, but when you're ready.
Yeah, maybe maybe we could see.
What were we about to say?
I was gonna say, why don't we get into some of the big topics we got for here tonight?
Oh yeah.
How about let's just start with Last of Us, just because I know you want to talk about Andor, but I feel like that would be a better way to go
Yeah, that's good lead
into
in.
all the Star Wars stuff. So, all right, Last of Us season 2 just had their third
Spoilers.
episode.
Spoilers, spoilers,
weekend.
spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoiler. Do I still have it? I still have it. Spoiler warning for anybody who has not seen Last of Us season 2, or just the Last of Us
Played
series in general. If you haven't played the games,
Around, come back later.
one, it's been a few years, so kind of like a shame on you at this point. Like, it's not really our bad if we spoil something for you at this point, because it's been for Last of Us Part 2, it's been like 5 years, so that we're kind of beyond that point. But for
I'm surprised I wasn't spoiled for some of the things. Holy shit.
I mean, and it got leaked too. We have to remember that in 2020, it got leaked right before the game came out,
I
and
think
that's
I
why I
purposely
got
was like,
hand. I don't. Yeah.
yeah.
So you have been warned. This is the last spoiler warning for Last of Us season 2. Woo!
You son of a bitch.
Okay, all right.
Boy, they did not wait.
Remember, spoiler. That's it. Okay. No. Yes, the death of, you're gonna hear my name a lot now this season. Death of Joel. They just did it. They didn't extend it. It was pretty raw. They just did it. They went into it. I have one little gripe, but yeah, they did it. They didn't shy away. Everyone knew it was coming. I shouldn't say everyone. One of our buddies, who you know, Chris, he didn't know Joel dies. Like, he has avoided it
Really?
all this time. Yeah, he's like, he's got to be alive. So I was like, brother, no, he ain't coming back, man.
Brother, nah.
That was like, oh shit, it just never, like, I knew
That's
a
cool.
while ago watching you play it, when you streamed it a million years ago. I was like, oh shit, he dies, and then like I just fell off. He was like,
Yeah.
he didn't see it coming, which was like, oh, that's fucking crazy, like, yeah, they did it, and it was not unreasonable. It didn't feel out of left field. Not that it did in the game. In the game, of course, they kind of have to rush things. They kind of like pigeonhole it a little. I think it felt semi-natural on top of the new stuff they did, right? Jackson, the city gets attacked by like a
Yeah, that
zombie
was
horde.
interesting.
Yeah, a very Game of Thrones White Walker attack.
So just to jump off of that, because you brought up a very good point with like the changes. How do you feel that they swapped out Tommy for Dina
I think
for Joel?
I think it works. Because Tommy, he has a job and they've established him at Jackson. And I think with
He's a
Dina's
dad.
connection, yeah, Dina's connection, like they show she has a little bit of a rapport with Joel, and she's getting to know Ellie. It kind of makes sense, like TV wise. And she's like, young blood, there to help. Joel's getting old. He needs someone like Dina. Tommy, he's not as, I mean, he's almost as old as Joel, but he's
Younger.
he's
Yeah.
leading the city, right? He's got a job to do. He'll always, be there for his brother when he can be, but it felt natural to me. I didn't mind. And I think honestly, like it felt when I played, I was like, Tommy's just here already, and so it flowed well to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. It was just more of like an interesting choice, because like I was saying, I just played through it like 2 days ago, and like the whole idea was like, okay, well, Joel and Tommy went out to survey the area and stuff like that, and that's kind of like what happened here, except with Tommy, it was Dina. It is very interesting that they went with the whole attack on Jackson, because for people that didn't play the game, spoiler again, but that never happened. The infected attack on Jackson was never a thing. I saw some people kind of not really complain about it, but like are getting worried that like, oh no, they're like Walking Deadifying the show a little bit, because like they had to like throw in this to have infected or like a bigger infected presence. But I think with how the adaptation is going, it did help, especially in hindsight for episode 2, because episode 2, well, not episode 2, actually I should say episode 3, it does a lot for episode 3. Because we get to see a lot more of what Lincoln is, or it's not Lincoln, what Jackson is. Because arguably, we don't really spend a lot of time in Jackson in the games. Like
like not even an hour, really.
Like we have the beginning, and then we get sent out like twice, and then once you leave for Seattle, that's it. Like Jackson is gone forever.
Yeah.
So and especially now that like Tommy has like a very different role. Like you said, he is, a leader. He's also a father. He wasn't a father in the games. So he has, this version of Tommy has more to lose, but like he still is the same guy as far as like, he's there for Joel. Like he would do anything for Joel, but like he knows that he means a lot more to the town at this point than going to get revenge. And I think that's what
at least so far.
But I think that's what the main focus of the show is going to be more about, is that, I mean, the game was kind of like the same too, where, try not to like have revenge take control of you. Like try to like forgive and forget, but like not in the sense of like, oh, we're just not gonna like acknowledge how like fucked up like the whole thing with Joel was. But at the same time, it's like, well, this character needs to think more critically and needs to think about the bigger picture, and it kind of helps focus what is happening, at least with Ellie and Abby, at least I think, because Ellie and Abby are like the epitome of like revenge. Like revenge corrupts, and revenge like fucks with the mind a whole bunch. And I know some of the critiques are going to be like, well, it's like the game, doesn't have to keep throwing reminders about like what the story is. It's like, well, yeah, but also at the same time, this is a different medium. Different mediums have to do things a different way, because a video game has your attention because you're playing it. Shows and like movies have to do it differently because, let's be honest. How much of a percentage of people are going to be watching the show and also on their phone? You know, like clicking, clacking away on their phone. A lot. So, but I don't know about you, Joel, but I don't think how they're going about telling the themes of this story so far, you know, it's only been 3 episodes so far. I don't think they're doing a bad job about it. It's just different.
No, there's also the problem with Star Wars. Like, some fans can't let go, for better or for worse. Like, yeah, of course, let's acknowledge the bad things, and you know, there's still some good to be celebrated. You know, we aren't even like done yet, and people are already, you know, super hard on it, which is fair. We've sat with the game for 5 years, but also we've sat with the game for like 5 years. It's time we can move on, and let's try something new too. And well, also the game didn't do, because we talked about the Jackson fight, which is really cool. The pipes are fucked up, right? And they use it for stuff. And they show like the mycelium, or the, you know, the shit in the pipes is like infecting and growing. It's like, oh shit, Jackson is gonna fall in more than one way, probably. And maybe there'll be like a reckoning or something. I don't know. But what I said to my wife, I was like, oh shit, the guy who's going to worry about the pipes, we don't know where he is. He's fucking gone. So it's just funny. Like, it's like, hey, the pipes. It's like, oh shit, we're under attack. You know, we don't give a shit about what's in the pipes right now. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I think also, like, again, like you said, a game has your attention. With the show, we're purposely are sitting with it. We got to wait. And again, just to see what happens, you know, and what if they make changes, you know, that are good. I'm spoiled by the first season, where we got that really beautiful episode with a prepper and his husband or whatever.
Oh, Bill. Yeah,
Bill. I'm expecting something like that. You know, I want a total 180 exploration on one of the characters.
Well, I mean, not to the same degree, but we kind of got that with what was his name? Was it Seth?
Yeah, I don't like that they did that, but I can get why.
Well, yeah, it's, take it or leave it, because it's, at the end of the day, it's like a whatever kind of thing. But it's still showing that they're willing to take characters and kind of, push them further than what they already were.
Yeah.
And like we could already say that about the characters we know, but like, it would be, like you said, it would be very interesting to see, like, will we get a little bit more time with some of the other WLF people, like Abby's crew. Like, we kind of see them a little bit when, like, you're playing as Abby and stuff, but it's like we don't really know a lot about them, at least as far as like on the surface level goes.
Yeah.
So it definitely, we could see a lot of interesting things. I want to give them props for the stalker.
Oh yeah,
scene.
that was a good explanation. You know, for us who've played 2, we get this new unit or enemy that's pretty annoying and scary in many ways. And they incorporate in a way for TV, like, hey, there's a new cordyceps. It's smarter. It's actually can like see you. It
senses danger.
Right. So for us, it's like, oh, new enemy type, be aware, we're thrown in the situation. Now it's like we're all thrown in it and we're all figuring it out together. And I just thought, like, they did it well. And they did it within the first episode. We don't see stalkers until, like, I don't know, level 6 or 7. Like,
far into this, because at this point, I still haven't seen stalkers, and like just getting to Seattle, like, you don't really get heavy into like the big bads until later in the game.
Yeah. So I think they did it well. Also, they're already like teasing us, like, hey, they're probably gonna be here sooner rather than later. So that's gonna be pretty wild to see.
It was interesting that because the whole horde that attacked Jackson, like, they tied in what happens with Abby on the mountain, right? Because, like, there's in the game, there's a pretty good group of infected that come about when Abby is trekking down the mountain, it was just very interesting to see how they literally like scaled up the holy shit factor with like having some of them like in the ground, like how it was in the game, but then like I think it was like the first episode where like they had to just slightly mention it's like, oh yeah, there's like reports saying that there's a bunch of there could be a bunch of infected like in the ground, you know, like there's like
a worm or some shit, like
yeah, God. And then like the earth just starts to move like underneath all of them. They all start to fucking crawl out, and like that was a really cool image.
Yeah,
and then of course you know Tommy having to fight off that one bloater.
That was cool. We don't ever play as Tommy in the actual like regular game.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him get, you know, some action. And, you know, I was like, damn, a flamethrower usually fucks up a bloater pretty fast. This is like a super strong one. Holy shit.
Super roasted mushroom.
Right. And it's like, you know, coming in, I was like, and then it falls. I was like, oh my God. Fuck. Jesus.
So the whole scene with you know Joel kind of, you know, meeting his end kind of deal, I thought it was a very interesting choice to not have Ellie pass out and then get that extra little moment with Joel, like just to kind of add in that little bit, a little more of a sting. Yeah. But I think it helps because I've seen plenty of other people talk about this, but it was very evident in the first season. We're getting slight variations of the main characters here, because like the Ellie that we see, like the Bella Ramsey Ellie that we see in the show, is a very much more angry, I guess is a better way, a very much more angry Ellie. Like, not that she's not angry in the game, but like Ellie still has a little bit of that, not like softer side, but she's definitely a more sadder character in the game than she is in the show. So
I feel that way in the first one for sure.
Yeah. But so it was very interesting to have this extra bit of time, especially in Jackson, for Ellie, and then having that moment with Joel, and then also just like the horse ride back, and like we get to see Ellie throughout this whole process that we didn't before, because in the game, after Ellie passes out, the next thing you see is like a little while later, and she's already at the grave, where that doesn't happen until like the end of episode 3. Like, things are a little bit kind of shifted around just for plot reasons, but it's like we don't get to see her really go through it, you know. Not saying that it's something that's necessary, but it was very interesting difference to see, you know, Ellie processing, or not even processing, but just kind of like the PTSD like ish kind of thing. Because like what at beginning of episode 3, like when Ellie like comes to in like the hospital, like she is still there. Like, she is still in the lodge, like at that point. So it's like the moment of her crawling to Joel, that's where her brain shuts off, but like her body is still like just, she's there. Yeah. So it was to me, it was a very powerful kind of representation of just like your body just like going on autopilot, and it's like, you know, trying to deal with this like big, huge like moment in time.
In the game, is there a flash forward? I don't remember after the Joel incident.
It like says like it's like a little time has passed, because like, you know, like I don't think, because I'm trying to remember, I don't think it was 3 months like it
Yeah,
was in the
I thought that
show.
was interesting, but it makes sense. They're
But
rebuilding.
then again, like Ellie didn't get as beat up as she does in the show. Like Ellie gets the shit kicked out of her in the show.
Yeah,
Like Ellie only gets like kicked one, like kind of like just kicked in the gut once, and then just
yeah,
gets knocked out.
yeah.
You know, so like she's still kind of like a little bit time has passed, but like it's still like you can tell that it's in the transition to like winter to spring.
Yeah.
So it may have been like a month or so, but it's like not as much. I don't think not as much as the show did.
Yeah.
We did get to see a little glimpse of the Seraphites already.
Yeah, and I like how they're painting a picture of them in the show versus how we first kind of run into them as Abby, you know, and what that means for her and what's going to happen. And I didn't honestly expect to see them in episode 3 already, so it's a nice kind of treat for us. And you know, we kind of understand, and they're already laying the groundwork at the end of the episode 3. Like the Seraphites and the WLF are going at it, you know, and you know they know prisoners. And I was wondering if they, because in the game they talk about the Prophet, but we never meet them. They're already dead. I was wondering if they're going to change that. I was like, oh no, she's been dead, so it's the
No.
same thing. It's like okay, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's just interesting. You know, they're scarred up. They still got the leather and all that, and
The same kind of thing. I do find it interesting that they went as far as the details. Like, oh, they know that the Prophet is dead,
yeah,
but they're still carrying on like the doctrine,
yeah,
as it were. So it's because I don't know about you, but like in the game, it kind of made it feel like it was like a blind, like it was like the Emperor in fucking Warhammer.
oh, yeah,
It's like
it's cool.
the Emperor's dead, but like you know, we still praise the Emperor. It's like still you know, the body is still there, you know, kind of thing. But no, like it's like no, it's like we know that she's dead, but it's we're still living this lifestyle because we believe in it, and that's how we choose to live. I'm not worried yet, but it is starting to. I am starting to be more and more intrigued how they're going to do the flip at some point.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because we're getting more information than we kind of did, and so
oh yeah,
like as of right now, it's like oh the WLF is like these bad motherfuckers, and for the most part they are. But I mean like. I'm very intrigued to see it at what point at the point when we get Abby's turn.
yeah,
And how they go about it, especially with how like much like ahead of time we're being like shown like no this like WLF is not to be fucked with, like they are enemy number one.
That with the like upcoming episode a little bit.
Dude, the ending of the episode of this past episode.
Oh yeah,
With like the army marching down the street.
WLF baby with their fucking armored vehicle shit.
Like, I know there's a lot of them like in the game, but like this felt like nah, they're on a grand scale. Like they're a big level threat in this.
I would say they were, you know, in the game because they have a whole stadium they're occupying and living in, and they have a whole compound, they have animals, you know, a farm. But yeah, like I'm glad you brought it up because I was saying like when are we gonna get the like, you know, we were right, you know, we're ride or die for Ellie, all of a sudden like why the fuck are we with Abby, you know? And it's like oh shit, I see what you're doing here, you know, like with Abby and Lev and what they go through, and you know, and we're still gonna see Abby's still a person. She still had her family. Joel took that from her, and of course she wants revenge, and then the cycle just explodes.
Yeah. But overall, I've been enjoying myself with this season so far. I just want to ask you, Joel, now that we're kind of teeing up, like, okay, they've made it to Seattle, like we're we're in we're in the big time now. Like this is where everything starts to just kind of go forward. What?
Yeah, avalanche of fucking
Because I
revenge.
think like what we only have.
It's like, is it 8 or 9 episodes?
It's 8 episodes. So we have like 5.
No wonder they
left.
did 2 seasons. But they could also like jam a lot in an hour too.
Is there anything is there anything you want to see? I should say that. Is there anything you want to see in this coming up?
What do I want to see this season?
Yeah.
I mean, me and my partner were talking about it, but just they keep talking about Eugene. I want to see why Joel kills Eugene. You know, I think we're gonna know why, but like that explored for sure. But for sure from the game, I do want to see this season. At the very least, they don't have to go in the fucking like skyscrapers together, but you know, Abby and Lev, their team up. I don't even know if they're still gonna do that. I don't even know if that's possible. And then
probably not this season.
I feel like we could meet Rat King by the end, because Rat King is I feel pretty far in, but the rate they're going, I feel like it's not impossible to like kind of put him at right there at the end, and we know we're semi rooting for Abby. What do you think?
Because I think from what I saw in like like next week on like, you know, Last of Us kind of thing, the preview, it seems like they're gonna make it to the theater in the next episode.
Yeah.
Which is going to be like their home base for a little bit of bad amount of time. Do you think that Sarah's in the background? But do you think that we could get all the way up to the confrontation in the theater with Abby?
Oh man.
Like,
I feel like
do we see the end of the season with Jesse fucking?
Oh yeah, I definitely that's, you know, seeing young Manzino, I was like, damn, he's doing this too good. I'm gonna cry. You know.
Also,
like,
by the way, perfect casting. He is like, it is shocking how like point for point this guy is just Jesse.
Yeah, a little more beefed up than Jesse, but yeah, beefy Manzino over here. I think if it's not Rat King, it's that. You know, but at the same time, it could be that theater confrontation, and then boom, like, Abby's fucking shit up. I don't know, like it's.
I guess it just all depends on how they're plotting this out, because we don't know if they're going to be doing we're going to show you a bit of Abby and a bit of Ellie at the same time, or like how isolated are these things going to be? We don't know.
Or maybe it'll be like 3 more episodes with Ellie, and then kind of like the game, 3 more episodes with Abby. Like what if we end with Abby and then start with Ellie and Abby season 3? Like it's literally boom, boom right there. It just sets it off.
Fuck, dude.
There's so much they could do and play with. At the same time, they could change so much too, right? Thinking way far ahead, I'm just, for those who don't know, this is a big spoiler. If you don't want to know, turn off your phone for like 30 seconds. But it just, Tommy fucking setting it off again. I'm wondering if it's going to be someone else, or if it's still going to be him. And like, are they going to throw him so much shit that he goes through it? Like, because, just like that part of the game, I was like, man, you piece of shit. Like, they've like kind of found peace, and here you come in like all fucked up. But I mean, at the same time, that's what it shows. Like revenge, like that's all, he's warped by it. You know, that's his life. That's his poison. And
it'll be interesting because unless if it's a feeling of guilt, like
kind of touched on that a little bit. I feel.
Is it possible that Tommy doesn't go to Seattle?
It could be someone else. Yeah.
It could just be Jesse. Because in the video game, Tommy leaves before Ellie and Dina do. Like Tommy just left.
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, Tommy's, as far as we know, he's still in Jackson.
Yeah.
And we know at some point after Ellie and Dina leave, like Jesse comes pretty close behind them.
Yeah,
like he
comes
clues
running
in,
really.
he clues in, and he's
Yeah.
like there like maybe like a day or so after.
Yeah.
But is it possible that we just don't get Tommy?
It is possible.
Which could make it even more fucked up if he tries to guilt Ellie later. Because it's like he feels guilty because he didn't do anything about it, and
True.
Jesse died, Joel's dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Ellie's fucked up. Dina's getting fucked up.
and it's like we can already tell at least by the third episode, like, you know, Jesse became, you know, part of the council of like the community.
So big player already.
And he and Tommy are like, at least from what it looked like they had like, you know, a better relationship just because they've been working together a lot because of that. Yeah. So it's like, do you hold Tommy back for most of Seattle? Have Jesse still go through the motions of like the game to have Tommy be more of a character of regret and like using that to kind of guilt Ellie back to was Santa Barbara.
Ugh.
Was it Santa Barbara? No, where?
It's like California, Santa Barbara, somewhere like that.
Okay. But yeah, that would be.
That's awful.
That would be so fucked up. But I don't know.
Man, fuck you.
Like
fuck you,
just
Tommy.
Like Tommy could just be guilty that he. Because that's the thing. We also don't know who said yes or no. Because in episode 3, like the council had a vote if they wanted to send people after Abby and her gang, and it was like 3 yeses.
Yeah.
Out of like 10 people, I think.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of reading the body language of everybody, and it's like, I think, you know, Tommy is a guy of his word, at least when it comes to like the people he cares about. So I feel like he said yes. Yeah. And the prep speech that Ellie gave probably would have won Mary over.
Maria?
Or Maria, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's what they were saying in the post credits. Like that's because she's a prosecutor. It probably did win her over.
But I looked at the body language of Jesse, and after he passed his vote over, he was sitting there with his arms crossed, and he was just kind of like leaned back, and he's just like not really looking. Like his head was still kind of pointing forward, but like you could tell he's kind of looking down.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that he might have voted no.
I mean, he wants to keep his people safe still too, right? I think,
or he wants to keep Ellie safe,
right? He's Ellie's and Dina's, you know, friend first, and then like a council person. So he's probably like, and maybe he's balancing that now. Like it's like, you know, I have a city to look after, and you guys are that city. Like I want you guys to stay here. I mean, it doesn't stop him, right? It was never going to, but
yeah. But it was just that little like, you know, but like body posture and just kind of like demeanor that like, I was like, you said no, didn't you? Which might make it even like more tragic. Like when eventually, because like you said, he's a friend first. Yeah. And it's like, he knows if Ellie was going to go, Dina was going to go. So it's like, well, fuck, I have to go.
Yeah.
Like help both of them. And
the prize.
Damn. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. The next few weeks are going to be very interesting. And
I'm very curious to see what they do. And the fact that we're still getting a season 3 is like kind of mind blowing to me. But I could see like we there's so much story to tell, you know. And for those who just who don't know the story, it's going to be like, to me at least, double fascinating to see how they view it. Like our buddy Chris, like he didn't know Joel was going to die. Like I still think that's wild.
Like, not on camera, but just like in, you know, a friendly manner. I would love to see what he thinks about this. Because just like to have like just like that those blind like blank slate perspective on this whole show,
Yeah, yeah.
especially after like episode 2.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I love this. I love this franchise at this point.
It's so good.
It hurts so good.
good.
It makes you think. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. But speaking about hurting in another good way, I guess I'll preface this by saying I have not watched any of Andor season 2 yet. But Joel, I know you had some things you wanted to say, so I'm gonna let you rip, and I'll ask any questions if I need to.
I'm gonna try to be delicate, but I'm still very excited. It's going places Star Wars hasn't gone before, but not that Star Wars is shy to talk about world issues. And I think it's not uncommon for writers, creators, even George Lucas, to reflect what's happening in real life in Star Wars. I just never thought I would ever see some of the things they chose to do, but it really just shows what Cassian and his crew are going through, how high the stakes are. We in the span of 3 episodes, we somehow get some incredible, still kind of like goofiness in a way, the Star Wars camp, and then something so incredibly serious. And I was just like, fuck. Like Tony Gilroy, I knew you didn't play with Andor season 1, but like, holy shit, we're coming in hot, and I'm just, it's definitely going to be one of those things that like we've got into new territory for better or for worse. And I think Star Wars, it does have an intended audience, but now it's like Star Wars, this is truly like an adult Star Wars piece of media. It's fair that, people do deserve it. This is what people wanted, and we've been growing with this franchise. Why shouldn't we explore this even further and deeper? Yeah. Still some sick starship action. Interesting other things. I won't say anymore. It's, and in some ways it's almost like Last of Us. There was a couple unapologetic things, and I was just like, fuck. Like it's like, wow. And if we got, 6 or 9 more episodes, holy shit. Like I don't, this will, like, we know where it goes, just not how. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's already painting a different picture for me. Like, even Diego Luna was saying, like, you're gonna view everything so differently when you watch it now. And I'm like, I definitely already am with the first 3 episodes. Like, fuck. But yeah, it just, I still think Andor is one of the best written things of Star Wars ever, and they're still coming in hot. And
That's good.
they cooked, and it's. I can't possibly imagine them fumbling, but I hope I don't eat my words. But there's just so much care and consideration, and still really good. But at the same time, same side of that coin, like, did we need this? You'll know when I get there. When you get there, I get what they're trying to say. What the message is. It's just like, wow. This is in Star Wars, I mean, maybe it always was, but that's all.
The only thing I know about Andor season 2 is that somebody made a 10-minute loop of Mon Mothma dancing. That's all I know. That's my barometer.
Gonna say anymore.
Okay, well, I'll try my best to catch up, and then we can have a more in-depth conversation about it later. However, let's keep this Star Wars talk rolling, because we have a lot of announcements to talk about that happened at Star Wars Celebration. Okay. Right now I have the StarWars.com just kind of list of all the
Yeah,
major
full
announcements. Let's start off with Star Wars Visions Season 3, or Volume 3, as how they're calling it.
Which is awesome.
It's
I don't.
it's
People
sick.
are, I feel like resistant. I think it's great stuff. I'm surprised we're even getting a season 3. So I'm happy for that.
It's another season with all Japanese studios working on shorts. Some of them I'm not so familiar with, and some of them I am. Like Studio Trigger's back,
Yeah,
for people that don't know, the Gurren Lagans, the Promares. Production IG is the company that made Attack on Titan. So you got, that art style coming up. I had to look it up, but Wit Studio made a few movies that I'm familiar with. They made the Spy Family movie, Code White, which was pretty good. But also, what a really, really cool announcement to pair up with that is that they announced that the Ninth Jedi, the short from the last volume, is getting like a continuation, as well as the Child of Hope. So, like, I don't know about what your expectations were for Visions, but like, for me, I was kind of hoping that at least something would get picked up. I know the samurai short that was in the first one ended up being made into a like manga comic series, which is pretty cool. But like the fact that we're getting arguably one of the best episode shorts from the last volume into like maybe not like full, but like seeing more of that world, I think is pretty cool. And I hope that other visions get this kind of treatment down the line.
Yeah, I after that announcement, when I saw it, I rewatched Ninth Jedi, and I was like, "What's the twist here?" I was like, "Oh shit, this is sick!" Like I liked like having some time away and watching it again. That was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that they're doing Ninth Jedi again.
Oh yeah.
Child of Hope. Which one is that? I don't remember that one.
I think the Child of Hope might have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joel. I know you're looking at it right now, but I think it was the Astro Boy-esque one. I'm not
No, it's
entirely
Ninth
sure.
Jedi, Child of Hope. It's one thing, according to this.
Interesting. Okay. Oh well, awesome, sick. Of course, ILM.
No, Toby's the Astro Boy one, which I really like. Yeah.
Oh,
that
Toby's
was
Astro
pretty
Boy.
dope. I would love
Well,
it.
yeah, some more Vision stuff is really cool.
Hell yeah.
ILM celebrated 50 years of
they
Industrial Light and
did.
Magic, which is pretty cool. Had a really nice panel.
Brian, hold on. Did you know? Wait, have you seen the Industrial Light and Magic show? The episode?
No, I need to see it.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that they talk about Ahmad Best and his experience and what happened, but apparently they didn't know. I'm just gonna like summarize real quick about how Yoda was to fight. So Ahmed Best called, one of the producers, directors, or yeah, to work on something. He's like, here, come to the crib. I'll show you some shit. So he showed some anime. He showed him some like kung fu movies. He's like, Yoda's got to hit a Bruce Lee stance, right? I'm like, oh shit, Ahmed Best. But he's like, yeah. And then Ahmed, he showed me a bunch of anime. And in the ILM little documentary, you get 3 seconds of Shar's counterattack. I was like, oh shit.
Whoa.
I was like, oh, Jar Jar Aznable. Okay, that's it. Anyway, continue.
That's awesome.
There's a connection.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to cut out some of my time tomorrow to check that out. That's fucking sick.
I just watched that episode. Of course, it's very heavy with what Ahmed Best went through, but still.
We got some slight theme park news. Joel, I know gladly before lockdown happened, you actually got to experience.
So fucking lucky that time. Holy shit.
But we got to experience Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon ride. They actually showed off some additions that they're adding on to the Millennium Falcon ride. So for people that don't know, at Disneyland and Disney World, at Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land, if you will. They have a ride where you and 5 other people get to basically pilot the Millennium Falcon, and you go through this. It's kind of like a video, like a big simulator video game kind of thing, but it's like also a ride. Like you get to take the Millennium Falcon, you get to go smuggle some coaxium and stuff like that. Now, not only are they doing that, but they're kind of also doing they're kind of making Star Toursing a little bit. So now there's going to be multiple locations that could randomly be chosen, as well as the addition of having the Mandalorian and Grogu accompany you on said missions. Because before, a character from Clone Wars and Rebels, Hondo Ohnaka, was like your guy, like talking you through the comms and stuff like that. Well, now we're going to be able to get some Mandalorian and Grogu stuff along with that. They announced that they're going to be adding locations like Bespin, Endor, and Coruscant. And they also...
It's like in this concept art, there's the Death Star 2 here.
Yeah. And they also said like possibilities of like the Death Star 2, like going through Tatooine, like going through wreckage of like sand crawlers and stuff like that. But like, dude, if we ever get the chance again, if Disney ever gets less expensive, how sick?
That's not coming.
I know, but how sick would it be to go back on that ride and just fly through Cloud City?
Oh, dude, that's
right.
Eventually they're gonna put Jakku in there. That'll be sick when they fly through.
That would
Star
be cool.
Destroyer. Oh man.
But yeah, so it's like it's like just a nice little addition that to a ride that's been out for 6 years at this point, I believe, because they released some like
update.
Yeah. They announced a Fortnite update.
Are you excited for Darth Jar Jar?
I kind of am, to be honest. So they announced it was like a they said it was like a 5-week event that's happening through like the whole summer pretty much. That is all going to be themed around like different things. Like I said, like the first week is like Imperial takeover. There's going to be the Pull of the Force, Mandalorian Rising, a Star Destroyer bombardment, and like Death Star sabotage. I'm assuming they're going to have wild ass events for this kind of shit. I will say this one thing, Joel. I think the one thing that you would respect out of Fortnite is that their Star Wars collaborations have been like top tier.
I mean, they have to be. The mouse is holding a gun to their head.
Yeah. But like, as far as like what they add in, like last year was pretty good. Like they did a pretty good job last year, like, with all of their stuff. Like this year, they're having the joke Darth Jar Jar be a thing. They're going to be introducing the Emperor, General Grievous, and like they usually have mashup characters. They said Mace Windu is going to be in the game as well.
Nice.
They said the ability to pilot and co-pilot X-Wings and TIE Fighters, which would be fucking sick. But yeah, I know Fortnite isn't for everybody, but I think it's really cool that after all these years, like they're still trying to figure out ways to like one up like their last collaboration, and like Disney is allowing them to like handle it with care. And hey, you get to run around the Fortnite world swinging lightsabers, fighting Darth Vader on like the world map,
Goku. And
Goku
and the Predator
and the Predator. That's cool. And then to kind of keep on with the video game announcements, they showed off Zero Company it's kind of like an XCOM, like
almost
tactical strategy.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna play this trailer without music, but it's just like this not weird, but like this interesting like take that for some reason I didn't realize there hasn't been like a tactical shooter or like a tactical like game for Star Wars yet. And it's being done by Respawn. You know. So it's just like this weird hodgepodge of just like different things from like the Star Wars world and like kind of putting it all into this like, see, like for people that are watching, it's like they have like a trade federation ship like being attacked, and it's like it's not clear to me like if this is like during the Clone Wars or it's like somewhere like in between, because like there's still
it's pre-Fall of the Republic. I think that's what they said.
Okay. Because like you still have all these battle droids, and like there's this clone force. Like I guess this is Zero Company, which like the cinematics for this look great. I'm not personally a big fan of like tactical like style games, but like we get this like weird like robot Jedi kind of thing going on here. There's a Mandalorian here.
Yeah, looks like tubes too. Remember tubes from Rogue One? And so
yeah. So I'm interested to see what this is about. You know, like Star Wars has gotten me to like different things before. So like who knows? Maybe this is my like introduction to like the tactical.
Or did they try to make like
game?
This still makes me think it's Baldur's Gate. It's just Baldur's Gate Star Wars. Oh my god.
I mean, in a way. But like, look at that. Like you have like this looks pretty nice.
It does look pretty clean.
Because I think one of the things that I don't like is that games like this have like really cool cinematics, but then when you get like the over the top like perspective like gameplay, like the game itself looks kind of like like not exciting. But like what they're doing here, like at least you still see the detail and everything, right? So like you still kind of feel that kind of Star Warsiness a little bit. But yeah, you just kind of see a little bit more. So that's kind of cool.
I could play a whole fucking game of like Survivor Holo Tactics, so let me tell you.
Hey.
Looks fun.
Yeah. They have a new Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy special coming out. I saw the first one last year. Have you ever checked this out, Joel?
No.
It's pretty cute. It's a pretty cute story. It's very much like very like family friendly, like Lego kind of thing. But
yeah.
But they do a lot of cute stuff because the whole idea is that the world got redone in like the Lego world, and so like you have all these like different Star Wars things like flipped on their head. Like what if the Emperor and Darth Vader were Jedi? You know,
that's a fun way to do what if.
And like other things like that, you know, it's just kind of like cute little things. It's you know, silly, it's goofy. You know, if you can get past, you know, the fact that it is a show for kids, it's pretty entertaining. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
99% of Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah.
I like how Jackson is in it, the bunny. That's funny.
Oh yeah. They did a little featurette for the Old Republic, which I didn't realize that it's been around for 13 years.
Damn. Remember that time we tried to play it?
Yeah, I did not like it. It was not a thing for me. But no, yeah, it was just like a cool little like I don't think they have it here, but like it was just a cool little like retrospective on like what they've done with the entire series. And
I'm surprised they like kept it going for 13 years, to be honest.
Same. And like for something that honestly, because like 13 years ago, that was like in the middle of the purchase of Star Wars of like Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So to have that still be around and like not be like, oh no, we're gonna get rid of this. We're not focused on this stuff anymore. We're not focused on the old like they kept it around to their benefit and like kept doing stuff with it. So it was It's pretty nice. This, however,
Are we
threw
looking at
me
the
for
same
a
thing?
loop.
Yeah, I was
The
super surprised.
The announcements of Star Wars Starfighter, a new movie in development from Lucasfilm. It said this is actually the first post-sequel movie we're going to be getting here. Because it said it's approximately 5 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker. We're getting... what's the actor?
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling as the lead for this movie. Like this
That
as
2049 coat look did a lot for him.
yeah. But yeah, should be getting it 2 years from now in 2027. We didn't get to see much about it. It was only like a logo reveal. Yeah. But like I'm curious if this was going to be
Rogue Squadron,
but they decided to push it farther down the timeline.
Which I'm
like
okay
change
with.
it a
I
little
think
bit.
it's time for some non-Skywalker stuff. Even if Rey shows up or whoever. I mean, it's also called Starfighter. Poe Dameron better fucking show up. Okay?
Oh,
That's
maybe.
all I'm saying. You better show up.
It's very possible. We don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that we're getting more announcements because I know they showed off, like behind closed doors, they showed off a little bit of Mandalorian and Grogu, which we're getting next year. Like, wild to think we're getting a Star Wars movie next year, which is wild because
crazy.
I know we saw Episode 3 this past weekend.
Yeah, but that's an old one. That's old.
Right. It's an old experience. It was still nice. It was nice to be in the theater and watch Star Wars again, but to see something new and like we're getting like 2 of them. You know, so I'm just hoping that we get to see more about that soon. It's always nice to like I feel like this year for Star Wars Celebration, it was like a little bit of everything. Like a little bit of everything got
really
love. Cuz not only are we getting new movie stuff, we're also getting a mangafication of the Thrawn books, which I'm all in for. I want to see what happens with that. But where is it? We are getting they don't even have it here. What the fuck? They don't even have it here. We're getting a Darth Maul show, an animated series.
Oh Lord.
So this one I'm very, very intrigued by. I wish there was something to show off here, but that's okay. But no, we're getting a Darth Maul post Fall of the Republic. So like I think they said it's like a year after the end of the Clone Wars. And so we're going to be seeing Darth Maul between end of Clone Wars to Solo. Or like somewhere in between there. You know, him rebuilding Crimson Dawn kind of thing. There was an interview with Sam Witwer that got me very curious. Because Sam Witwer is a big fucking Star Wars nerd. And he loves to talk about Star Wars. And he was talking about the show. And he was talking about Darth Maul. It's like, think how weird it is. Darth Maul knew exactly what Palpatine was going to do. And this is a guy that did not give a fuck about Maul. Like, literally killed his brother, ruined his entire plans, like, fucked up his life. But for some reason, Darth Maul waited until the very last second to reach out to somebody to be like, hey, shit's about to go down. Like the Sith are about to fuck up everything. And so the question remains, it's like, why did he remain so loyal to Palpatine? And he kind of gave a hint that this show might also kind of go into like where Maul was kind of in, like where his headspace was during that time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
More lies.
More lies. But apparently they're just getting a whole bunch of good animators for this show, and it's going to be like Clone Wars, and then just like even further beyond. So I'm excited to see.
You're bringing this up now. Is it going to connect to Tales of the Underworld, which is dropping soon?
Ooh.
Which I'm very excited for. It has Cad Bane and Ventress. Like, that's awesome. So
It's
I'm wondering if
possible.
there'll be a connection here. Or will this connect to Outlaws? So I would love that. Because I really enjoyed my time with Outlaws. So
I don't know. It just depends on
what they want to do.
how far they go, because I know we're getting a little bit of Cad Bane's backstory in this.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see what they do with Ventress, because Ventress is a very like, ever since they kind of redid her whole deal, like whatever they do with her is just kind of like, oh, I guess we'll see what happens, because like before what was it, before Bad Batch, like we thought her fate was sealed.
Yeah.
And it apparently wasn't. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a little bit of Quinlan Voss in here, maybe.
Maybe. Did he pull her through the world between worlds?
I don't know. We'll have
She's
to,
like
we'll
kind
have
of
to find
between,
out.
like Ahsoka. It makes sense to me. Right.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out in a few days.
She's like the other side of the same coin as far as like Ahsoka goes.
Yeah.
It's actually very interesting, because you can kind of also say that about Maul too, but like in a very different way. Like where like I feel like Ahsoka is like more pushed towards the light side, and like Maul is pushed more towards the dark side. Like Ventress is like in that weird middle ground where, like, yeah, she was on the dark side for a while, but like she's in this middle ground of like she's more back to her like witch ways.
Yeah.
And she's using more of that understanding of the Force instead of being like light or dark. It's like that weird like gray area. So it's like like maybe it'll tie in. I don't know. It'd be cool to see. But of course, May 4th is so far away. Not really. It's like next week. Well, actually, no. It's this weekend. It's
This
Sunday.
weekend, dude.
It's coming up. So we're gonna find out pretty soon.
I don't even think it comes out May 4th. I think it comes out before that.
Is it coming out the 2nd?
I don't know. It's always short too, so they'll probably drop it on the weekend, right? Oh, I guess I could just look it up.
It always fucks me up because Lego does their Star Wars Day stuff like on the 1st. Like they start like a few days early, so it always messes me up. I have no idea. However, Joel, did I tell you that this year they're gonna have a new collectible coin that is Boba Fett ship, the slave one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that shit.
What's gonna stop you?
Nobody. You know why? Because for some reason this year it's only for insiders. Because you need to spend points. There is a keychain version of it though, and you have to spend a shit ton of money to get it for free.
It is Sunday, by the way. Let's check.
Okay. But yeah, we are. It's nice to feel like Star Wars is starting to kind of kick into its next gear. Because like after Rise of Skywalker, we had the Disney Plus shows and stuff like that. We had some of the video games. We had a little bit of that, but it feels like now that the dust has settled a little bit, like we're starting to get into like full on like everything's like up for grab. Like movies are coming back. Mm-hmm. You know, we're getting more animated stuff again. You know, games are doing pretty good right now. So like I feel like right now Star Wars is at a very good even place. I know a lot of people, there are a good amount of people that don't agree with what I just said, but to me I feel like Star Wars is in a very good place where there's something for everybody.
Really. We're also getting Turgle finally as a toy.
Oh yeah, the Black Series.
Yeah. I might actually get that just for Turgle. With Cal with the trucker mustache. Man.
Hold on.
The mullet.
I think it's here somewhere. I think it was down more, lower. People that are listening to this, there they are.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful Turgle.
Little BB. Yeah, look at that. Handlebar mustache and the mullet.
Hell yeah.
I really hope they're going to just give him like interchangeable heads.
I think they will.
Oh, they got the Mirren one.
Oh, Han Solo.
Oh, Han Solo.
Okay. Oh, there you go, Brian. I didn't even know about this
What? They're making a Dash Rendar figure?
That's it. Brian's sold.
Look at that chin. Look at that chiseled jaw. Hell yeah, dude.
Cobb Vanth. Moff Gideon. Rocket Trooper. Marin.
Oh yeah. Cobb Vanth.
Bantha. Crosshair. That's funny.
Ooh. Nah, dude. Dash Rendar. Dash Rendar is the winner of the action figure set.
His likeness after. He looks like Kurt Russell and someone
He
else.
does look like Kurt Russell.
He's kind of smashed together here a little.
They probably just like took the box art and be like, you know what? You know what's popular back then? Kurt Russell. Now you know what? I'm not mad. Fuck, dude. You know what I want? Oh god. Oh no, hold on. I need to. God. You know what? We need Kurt Russell to play an old Dash Rendar.
What if that's in Starfighter?
Maybe? Or what if we get Dash Rendar in the mall show?
Makes sense. He's kind of part of that.
He's a
legacy,
smuggler.
Right? Yeah.
He's a Han Solo-esque character.
Yep.
All I know is if I see the Outrider anywhere on my screen, I'm gonna flip shit. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Joe Hendry. I'm gonna say
his name and he
appears. I believe in Dash Rendar. I believe in Dash Rendar. Only one can hope, and that one person is me.
What if he's a rival in Jedi 3? That'd be pretty wild. We saw his outfit.
Exactly. Like, they know that people want Dash Rendar. Legit, like they've adapted up like a whole bunch of other Legends characters at this point, and like Dash Rendar and Kyle Katarn have just been left to the dust for no reason. Like
Starfighter is Kyle Katarn.
There was that one episode of Rebels that had the Outrider, the ship that was the Outrider, but it wasn't Dash Rendar.
He was fucking dead.
No, I want him alive.
No,
bring him back, please. Please, Dave Filoni. It was
Ventress or Dash Rendar, and they chose Ventress.
Please, Dave Filoni. Dash Rendar, please.
Give this man his Legends character.
Please. I know I can't complain because I'm getting so much Thrawn now. Like, I'm drowning in Thrawn.
You are eating well.
I'm gorging on Thrawn. But just give me a little Dash Rendar dessert. Give me a little Dash Rendar after dinner mint, please. Please. And then make a joke about how he can't move like he used to make a joke on how bad the controls were on the N64 game.
you saying? They were bad? Yeah, they were pretty bad.
They were pretty bad. But yeah. We'll have to wait and see. There's gonna be so much Star Wars that I know we're gonna be talking about in the future, because that's how we do. But to wrap things up here, because we're going pretty long, is there anything you wanted to talk about real quick before we kind of wrap things up?
Just they had the manga showcase. Almost said manga. The wall art looks pretty cool. We said it before, but Outlaws is getting a DLC with Hondo, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just have to make sure you beat the game. I already did. So yeah. Apparently there's Monopoly Go Star Wars. That's cool.
Oh yeah, they're doing a collab.
K2SO Lego set. I feel like, why hasn't it been done sooner? But I mean, perfect timing for Andor, I guess.
Oh yeah. And they're doing a chopper one too.
Talk about time. And apparently there's a new play set. But yeah, it like you're saying, it's just a good time to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, I feel like it was always a good time, but I did have my hate for the prequels. Unabashedly, I was there, and looking back, that was a mistake. Okay, there's no reason, but live and learn and grow.
To kind of perfectly encapsulate this, I think what we were going through for the past few years, I feel like that's how the 90s were. Because when the 90s rolled around, there wasn't a lot of Star Wars thing going on. We got a little bit more now than we did back then. But we did get some weird stuff in the 90s. But then we had a re-release of the original trilogy in the 90s.
Yes.
Just kind of how we're having re-releases of the prequels now. Mm-hmm. Leading up to a bunch of new stuff that's coming around on the pipe. Yeah. So I'm excited.
It's going to be a good time. I'm excited for the Mandalorian Grogu movie. I'm really curious to see what they do with Starfighter, because that's the whole thing, flying in space, blowing shit up. So I really hope we see someone's Naboo Starfighter pop up real quick too. That'd be nice. But we don't know if he survives. I'm sure he will, but who knows?
Do you want? Oh, I don't know if I want to say anything. No, I won't say it. I won't say it. I saw some hidden camera footage, but I don't want to.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka season 2. They kind of confirmed it, but it's official.
They were filming it.
Yeah, so
They already began and confirmed that Anakin is coming back in season 2, which is going to be interesting.
I mean, fuck it. He's here. He wants to be.
Oh fuck. They announced who is going to be playing Balin.
Like a panther.
It's the Hound.
Oh yeah. That was a while ago, but was he actually there at Celebration?
They showed off
some art or still
test footage.
Oh,
or not test, but a screenshot. Hold on, let me see
I'll
if I can. That. But yeah. No, yeah. I'm so glad that Rory McCain is gonna be
the Hound.
Here we go. I got a good screenshot for you guys here. But look at that. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looks
even more brooding.
A little bit. It is going to be the transition between how he's going to play it. Yeah. But I think he's a good actor. I think he's going to do it really well.
And apparently he knew
Ray Stevenson's.
Ray Stevens. I almost said Ray Donovan, which is wrong. He knew, yeah. So he apparently they were buddies. I don't know if it's true, but it's good to know he had some insight on him. So
I am very happy that Balin is still going to be a thing, because they could have just easily been he stayed on that planet. He's just gonna fuck off and look for
I
whatever
would've
he's
been
looking
okay with
for.
that. You
But-
know, considering the circumstances.
But I really liked Balin. Like, I think, you know, out of all the new characters in the Ahsoka show, like Balin, I really liked Balin. I thought Ray Stevenson did a really great job making him very intriguing and like not your typical Darksider in a way. Like, he had a very interesting philosophy, and to see where I think they're going with like venturing more into like the father, the son, and the daughter kind of thing going on on this planet. Having this character's perspective, I think, enhances it more. So I'm glad that they decided to bring him back, but also, I know I'm just kind of saying out of my ass, but like at least like do it with grace. In a way, they're just like, oh, we just got some new guy to come in. It's like, no, they thought about it, and it's like you know, they had like these two actors had a relationship before. They know each other. They understand at least how they would do. I mean, hopefully they understand how to like portray this character and do it with justice. So
Yeah.
I'm ready. Oh, and like another side thing, Galaxy's Edge, they released Balin and his apprentice's lightsabers,
Oh, nice.
and they have like the orange blade, and it's fucking sick. And I do not have the money for that,
You do not.
I do
Neither do
not.
I right now.
but that's okay. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week, Joel. Yes, claps all around
So Friday.
on Friday.
I think it's Friday, yeah. Is it Friday? Oopsies. I better double check.
Seeing Thunderbolts on Friday.
Yep.
Oh, did you say Thunderbolts or did the first time?
Thunderbolts.
Okay, for some reason I heard something completely different. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Yes, we are seeing the Thunderbolts. So next week, we'll probably go into what our thoughts are on the Thunderbolts. But of course, that is next week. And as far as this week goes, this is the end of the United We Nerd podcast. Thank you, Joel, for always. Indeed. And of course, everybody out there, thank you for listening / watching this episode of the United We Nerd podcast. We really much appreciate it. For the live audience, we will see you here again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And for everybody else, we will catch you next time. So remember to, forever and always, keep on dirtin'. After dinner mint, please, Rendar.